So I want to try again to show anybody who's familiar with this drone, this toy drone, the HS-210, HS being Holy Stone, which is one of the better drone manufacturing companies for both toy and semi-professional camera drones. Some people who have bought it may have already experienced two problems, two issues. One is it's really fun, well designed, really fun to fly, has a very good, it's very stable, doesn't crash all the time, things like that. The other problem is it comes with idiotic batteries. These square batteries that, for some funny reason, they have a plug which is designed to. Where's the plug? That is the battery. We need the plug. So you see, I'm not very experienced using this. Using this fuzzy tablet, but I'll try. So they have this plug that for some funny reason, it's the same size as plugs in some of the other drones I've used, but this one comes with this goofy idea of two tabs that lock into the socket. And so once they lock into the socket, as in this case, this is also this funny charger that comes with it, the USB charger. Looks real slick and all that, but then when you plug it in, it has a confusing variety of lights that you can't really tell whether anything got charged or not. So let's see, I haven't even used it in ages. So we take this plug and put it in this socket over here, and there's one on the other side, and it goes in pretty easily. But once you get it in there, it's kind of like the Hotel California. You'll never get it out. You can pull, you can have great fingernails, you can use needle nose pliers, whatever. Eventually you wind up trying to pull it out by the wires, and just like with extension cords, that just tears up the item. So because of that, and it's the same problem in the drone socket and plug itself, and this is why quite a few people who have bought this model toy have returned it or just thrown it away, I guess. So my workaround for this has been that I don't know whether it'll work on this thing. I don't think I've even tried to do it this way or not. I can't find the slot in here. They don't want me to find the slot. It's on this side. Yeah, so the only way to get this goofy plug out of the socket without tearing up the wires and having the whole thing thrown in the trash is to use a miniature crowbar. In this case, a push pin. It's an ordinary bulletin board push pin, or you can use a needle or sewing needle or something like that. So my workaround for this is, and then this has a series of lights which sometimes are red, sometimes are green, sometimes are both, and I've never been able to understand which one is indicates it's finished charging or not, and how long it takes. So this is the thing that kills this kills this product. Apparently the Holy Stone people didn't have time to communicate with the battery manufacturer, and they just used these third-party. There are a lot of third-party battery suppliers all over Amazon and Alibaba and whatever, and they just picked one of those and said, here, send us these batteries and all that. And then they probably had to wind up going into quarantine and lockdown, which so much of the China's industries and civilians have had to do recently under the, the great leader they have. So what I would do in the case of this battery situation is just not use it. And what I do in that case is I use this product. I had one of these before, a Firefly, which is made, it's made by Potensic company, and here it's also made by Cheerwing. And it's not a very good, it's basically a crash drone. It spends most of its time hitting the wall and the floor. But I got a second one because it has an excellent simple charger, kind of like a USB charger too, and it has an excellent, easy to charge, easy to remove battery. There, comes out, just requires small fingers and maybe a fingernail. Boom, it comes out, it goes in, comes out, no pry bars required, no lubricant, none of this nonsense. And the only problem is that this battery is too long. The battery that comes with Holy Stone is square. It's kind of square and short and stubby or chubby or something. And so this battery doesn't fit in the bay unless you make some alterations. So what I did is I got a penknife, and I really got to get better lighting here. I got a penknife and I scraped away the back of this. There's like a backstop that you push the square battery in, and it stops there. Fits right in. Great. If only it would fit right in and out of the socket. So I used the penknife and I scraped down this sort of back wall so that the longer battery can then be put in here. See, it naturally only goes in like that. So you give it a little bit, push it down and up a little, and then it goes further into the back. And when it goes further into the back, it clears the socket enough so that you can put the plug in. And the plug goes in the same way it goes in and then voila, you've got the two LED lights, red for the back, green for the one. These LED lights are much better than the ones on this Firefly contraption. It's much more visible in the dark and farther away, and they just look cool. So the next problem is the retrofitted battery hangs out the back, kind of like the abdomen of an insect. Well, that probably unbalances the drone, and it also may kind of slide out and dangle, and that will definitely cause it to crash. So what I do is I push it up like this toward the front, and I use just a simple rubber band, the right size, and I hook it around the body of the craft from head to toe, kind of like that. I don't know whether you can see it or not. I also have this thing on top, which is this green contraption, which is my crash helmet for the drone, because the earliest one, I had one of these Fireflies. It wound up crashing so many times, hitting itself on the head so many times that it died an early, probably a premature death from having the electronics inside, bashed around. Kind of like a electronic concussion, maybe. So I put this rubber kind of helmet on it, made of like a flip-flop sole or something like that. And anyway, this rubber band for the battery is going right over that. And it's going to come around at the back here and somewhere around the front, and just kind of like that. I don't know if you can see on my wonderful high resolution camera here, all brought to you by Lindsay, whatever that is. Probably the same company that makes Firefly, for all I know. But anyway, so now you have the battery strapped in, and you have it plugged in, and it's ready to go. When you want to reverse the process, and usually the drone will start, the lights will start flashing. That's one reason. The lights will start flashing in the air when it's telling you that the batteries are going down, going dead, and it needs to land before it crashes. And it's going to just land anywhere it can. So you'd better try to steer it toward a flat surface, just like a helicopter, if you were flying a helicopter. So to reverse the process, you just maybe get rid of the rubber band, back up the battery a little bit so you can reach the plug in the socket, and if I can get some decent light, and with your piano player fingers, you reach in there and pull the plug out of the little socket, and then the battery's poof, ready to go. It's way, way, way easier than this contraption that came with Holy Stone. And the battery lasts the same amount of time. That's this one, the long battery. This is the long battery that's pretty much standard with Firefly and probably many of the other non-Holy Stone drones like this. Here's the whole thing. That's the whole deal right there. So then the next step is, with that, because it's such a nice little easy to do battery thing, here I'll put it in now, I'll take it out of there, and I'll put it in the, well, this is how you put it in the socket. This is the socket, kind of a standard socket for these types of drones. This one has these two holes on the sides that look kind of like, I don't know, they could look like nostrils or they could look like eyes, either one. On the Holy Stone, they have these things that latch into it and stick in there, and that's what locks it in, and you can't get it out unless you pry it in the middle, which is with this. Here, I'll do it. I'll get it in reverse. It's not necessary with these, though. So to plug it in, it makes it faster when these things, for some people, these things are tedious and little and hard to see and all that. That can be frustrating. It was for me in the beginning, but I've gotten used to it. You put this one, the plug has a long strip has kind of a long strip line thing like that in the middle. I call it a nose. And the nose has to go into the socket on the same side as that strip between the two, nostrils, eyes or nostril things. So you always know that's the side to put it in. You don't fool around with, was it this one or that one or the other. It goes in there like that, and then when you want to pull it out, because it's one of these skinny batteries, you just pull it out with your fingers, or pretty much with the fingers on the actual plug, just like you're pulling one out of the duplex socket at home, and it comes out. Well, great, no problem. So that's it with that, and I'll put it back in. So that's the deal with these. It comes with this. It's a simple USB charger. No confusing, funny lights on. It does. The light is on one side, but not on the other. But you can still see it through the translucent body, even if it's upside down, backwards. It's very simple. You plug it in. Now, they don't provide a charger block. This is a gimmick cell phone companies and everybody else are using now, because it makes their product look $10, $15 cheaper if they don't have to add that item in there, and they figure you already have one at home somewhere, or you can go spend the extra bucks and get your own. But it's easier for them to sell stuff. So this is the way it is with these drones too. So in this case, I'm using an ordinary LG cell phone charger block, and in my experience, it's only about 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour longer. I guess it's 30 minutes longer than the recommended one that Holy Stone suggests you buy for their product. And boom, you just plug it into the socket. This will be red until it's through charging, and then it turns green, and it's ready to take it out. You can pull it out of here, or you can go back over here with your handy dandy thumbnails and pull it out like that, and then you go about putting it in the drone like I just did. Push it, because I cut out that I kind of cut down that back wall so it fits in there and goes through like that. And then I find the nose on it. You can turn it around, you twist the wire and turn around the other way. But you find that nose-like line, and you line it up with that nose-like line, and you line it up with the slot on the plug, which is on the front, and it's ready when the lights start flashing. But don't panic. The propellers are not going to start immediately on this model just because the lights are flashing. Now I take my rubber band and I put it back around the back of the battery to keep it from sliding out in flight or when it bumps into something. And it's ready to go. With this model, it's not going to start taking off until you have the transmitter ready. And you do the what do they call it thing that you're supposed to do with all drones, the syncing or whatever. Now it's ready to go. If I want it to get ready to fly, I press this button. You'll see on the instructions these things are ready to go, and in due time it comes up. and I'm going to, well, it's decided to do the mosquito one. I don't want to fly it right now, so I'll shut that off. So that's about the deal. That's about the deal with that, I think. There was something else more complicated. Well, most of the complicated stuff is on the instructions I gave on the video, and it comes with a very nice, fairly good English instruction booklet. There are a few things I tweak on that, but it's way better than a lot of the one that comes with the Firefly is is that kind of funny English that it's somebody was rushing it through and they weren't interested in getting somebody who had any experience speaking English to do it, or writing any technical writing experience. There's quite a bit of technical writing prowess with Holy Stone that there isn't in these. The Firefly thing has gotten a little better than the first one I got. It seemed to work somewhat more like this one, but it still sometimes just takes off. And one time I think it took off and stuck to the ceiling, and the only way I could get it down was to cut the engines off and let it fall. So if you like doing that, it could be fun, depending on what kind of room you have and all that. So that covers getting the battery in, and this is the charger that Holy Stone. This is a charger that they recommend you buy because it doesn't come with the kit, and yeah, it's tighter too, even though I haven't used it that much. Well, because I didn't use it for the cell phone. This has all the same, all the same numbers and all that they recommend in their instruction book. In my experience, it goes about 30 minutes, roughly 30 minutes faster than a generic cell phone charger will. Whether it's better for the product, or not, I doubt it, because they're all these days pretty much third-party suppliers with roughly a rough idea of what they're trying to connect to. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope I didn't leave out anything. If not, I'll have to make another one. Bye.